The darkness falls across the African savanna as temperatures drop from scorching heat to bone-chilling cold. No walls protect you from prowling predators. No roof shields you from sudden storms. No soft mattress cushions your exhausted body. Yet somehow, 200,000 years ago, our earliest human ancestors not only survived these brutal nights, but thrived well enough to spread across every continent on Earth. Modern humans spend a third of their lives sleeping. Yet we've completely forgotten how our species actually rested for 99% of human history. We assume our ancestors simply crawled into caves and curled up on animal skins, but archaeological evidence reveals a shocking truth. Most early humans never lived in caves at all. They developed sophisticated sleeping systems so effective that they enabled our species to colonize environments from Arctic tundra to tropical rainforests, all without a single permanent shelter. The story of how early humans mastered sleep begins with a fundamental survival challenge that would kill most modern people in a single night. When the sun disappeared over the prehistoric landscape, our ancestors faced three deadly threats simultaneously. Predators emerged to hunt in darkness. Body temperatures plummeted without solar warmth, and exhaustion from constant foraging demanded rest that made them completely vulnerable. Archaeological excavations across Africa, Europe, and Asia have uncovered the remains of early human sleeping sites dating back hundreds of thousands of years. These discoveries shatter every assumption about prehistoric rest. Rather than finding evidence of crude cave dwellings, researchers discovered intricate sleeping arrangements that reveal extraordinary innovation and planning. The Wonderwerk Cave in South Africa, occupied intermittently over 2 million years, shows that caves were temporary shelters, not permanent homes. Tool analysis and debris patterns indicate our ancestors used these spaces for specific activities like tool-making and food processing. But sleeping arrangements were far more complex. Most fascinating of all, the deepest archaeological layers show no evidence of permanent bedding systems. Instead, they reveal something much more sophisticated. Early humans developed portable sleeping technologies that could be assembled anywhere, anytime. These weren't simple animal skin blankets, but engineered systems designed for specific environmental challenges. At sites across the Olduvai Gorge in Tanzania, researchers found evidence of deliberate ground preparation techniques dating back 1.8 million years. Our ancestors weren't just lying down wherever they felt tired. They were transforming the landscape itself to create optimal sleeping conditions. The ground preparation process began with careful site selection. Early humans chose locations based on drainage patterns, wind exposure, and proximity to resources. They avoided low areas where cold air would settle and selected spots with natural windbreaks like rock formations or dense vegetation. But site selection was only the beginning of a sophisticated process that modern camping experts would recognize immediately. Archaeological evidence shows our ancestors systematically cleared sleeping areas of rocks, thorns, and debris. They created shallow depressions to prevent rolling during sleep and built raised platforms using stones and packed earth to improve drainage and insulation from ground cold. These weren't random activities, but deliberate engineering designed to solve specific comfort and safety problems. The most remarkable discovery comes from sites in Israel and Spain, dating to 400,000 years ago. Researchers found evidence of constructed sleeping surfaces using layered materials with different thermal and comfort properties. The bottom layer consisted of larger branches and stems, providing structural support and elevation above cold ground. The middle layer used smaller twigs and leaves for cushioning and insulation. The top layer incorporated specific plants chosen for their softness, pest-repelling properties, and pleasant fragrance. This layered construction reveals sophisticated understanding of thermal dynamics and material properties. Our ancestors knew that different materials trapped air in different ways, creating insulation systems that could be adjusted for various weather conditions. During summer, they removed insulating layers to prevent overheating. During winter, they added materials to increase warmth retention. This adaptability gave early humans tremendous advantages over other species locked into fixed sleeping behaviors. But constructing proper bedding was only part of the sleeping challenge. Early humans also had to address the fundamental problem of safety during their most vulnerable hours. Archaeological evidence reveals they developed group sleeping arrangements that maximized protection while ensuring adequate rest for everyone. Sleep site excavations show consistent patterns of circular or semicircular arrangements with specific positioning based on age, size, and social status. Adults slept on the perimeter with children and elderly individuals protected in the center. This wasn't accidental social organization, but calculated security strategy that ensured the strongest fighters could respond immediately to threats while protecting the most vulnerable group members. The positioning also reveals sophisticated understanding of human sleep cycles and vigilance requirements. Analysis of wear patterns on stone tools and fire remains suggests early humans practiced rotating watch schedules, with different individuals maintaining alertness while others rested deeply. This system enabled continuous protection without exhausting any single person, a critical innovation that allowed our species to survive in environments filled with nocturnal predators. Fire management during another remarkable technological achievement. Sleep represents, contrary to popular images of early humans huddled around massive bonfires, archaeological evidence shows they developed controlled burning techniques designed specifically for nighttime use. Rather than maintaining large fires that required constant fuel and attention, our ancestors created slow-burning systems that provided steady warmth and protection throughout sleeping hours. Hearth excavations reveal specialized fire construction techniques, using specific wood types and arrangement patterns. Dense hardwoods were positioned to burn slowly and evenly, while aromatic woods were added to repel insects and mask human scent from predators. The fires were built in shallow pits with stone arrangements that reflected heat efficiently while preventing accidental spreading. These weren't primitive campfires, but engineered heating systems designed for optimal performance during extended rest periods. The social aspects of early human sleep reveal fascinating insights into prehistoric cooperation and communication. Evidence suggests our ancestors developed complex protocols for managing group rest that required unprecedented levels of coordination and trust. Sleep timing had to be synchronized to ensure adequate protection. Resource gathering for bedding materials required cooperative effort. Site preparation demanded group labor and shared expertise. Most remarkably, archaeological evidence indicates early humans developed standardized sleeping arrangements that could be quickly implemented by any group in any location. This standardization enabled different bands to merge temporarily during migrations or resource shortages, sharing sleeping spaces and security responsibilities without conflict or confusion. The social technologies required for this cooperation may have been as important as the physical technologies for survival and expansion. Regional variations in sleeping systems reveal how early humans adapted their techniques to specific environmental challenges. Arctic sites show evidence of snow cave construction and specialized insulation techniques using animal fur and body heat management. Desert sites reveal underground sleeping chambers that provided protection from temperature extremes and sandstorms. Forest sites show platform construction techniques that elevated sleepers above ground moisture and provided protection from crawling insects and small predators. Each regional adaptation required deep understanding of local conditions, materials, and seasonal patterns. Our ancestors couldn't simply apply universal solutions, but had to develop location-specific expertise that took generations to perfect. This adaptive capability enabled human expansion into virtually every environment on Earth, a feat no other large mammal achieved without technological assistance. The tools required for effective sleep system construction were surprisingly sophisticated. Archaeological evidence shows early humans developed specialized implements for ground preparation, material processing, and bedding assembly. Stone scrapers designed specifically for clearing sleeping surfaces, pointed tools for creating drainage channels and anchor points, cutting implements optimized for processing plant materials into bedding components. These weren't general-purpose tools adapted for sleeping preparation, but dedicated implements designed exclusively for rest-related activities. The existence of specialized sleep tools indicates that our ancestors recognized rest as a critical survival function requiring its own technological solutions, not simply an afterthought to more obvious needs like hunting and food processing. The sophistication of early human sleep technology becomes even more apparent when examining their solutions for weather protection. Unlike modern humans who retreat indoors during storms, our ancestors developed portable shelter systems that could be deployed rapidly when conditions deteriorated. Archaeological sites across Europe show evidence of collapsible windbreaks constructed from animal hides stretched between wooden posts, creating protected sleeping zones that could be assembled in minutes. These emergency shelters weren't crude tarps thrown over sleeping areas, but engineered structures with specific aerodynamic properties. The hide positioning created wind deflection patterns that reduced air movement across sleeping surfaces while maintaining ventilation to prevent condensation buildup. Stakes and anchor points were positioned to distribute wind loads evenly, preventing structural failure during storms. Most ingeniously, the shelters included adjustable elements that could be modified based on wind direction and precipitation intensity. Rain protection required different innovations entirely. Sites in tropical regions reveal sophisticated drainage systems integrated directly into sleeping area construction. Early humans dug channel networks around their rest zones, directing water away from bedding areas during heavy rainfall. They constructed raised sleeping platforms with sloped surfaces that shed water efficiently while maintaining structural integrity throughout extended wet seasons. The waterproofing techniques themselves represent remarkable technological achievements. Chemical analysis of preserved materials shows early humans developed methods for treating animal hides that dramatically improved their water resistance. They used plant oils, tree resins, and mineral compounds to create coatings that repelled moisture while remaining flexible and breathable. These weren't accidental discoveries, but deliberate chemical processes that required precise knowledge of material properties and environmental effects. Temperature regulation during sleep presented complex challenges that demanded integrated solutions addressing multiple thermal factors simultaneously. Early humans couldn't simply add or remove clothing like modern people, but had to engineer their entire sleeping environment for optimal heat management. Archaeological evidence reveals they developed sophisticated understanding of air circulation, thermal mass, and radiant heat transfer that rivals modern engineering principles. During cold periods, our ancestors created thermal trap systems that captured and retained body heat throughout sleeping hours. They positioned stones near fires during evening activities, then transferred these heated masses to sleeping areas where they provided steady warmth release during nighttime temperature drops. The stone placement patterns show precise calculation of heat distribution and timing, ensuring warmth peaked during the coldest pre-dawn hours when human body temperature naturally reaches its lowest point. Hot climate sleeping required completely different approaches focused on heat dissipation rather than retention. Desert site excavations show evidence of underground sleeping chambers that utilize the Earth's natural cooling properties. These weren't simple holes, but carefully engineered spaces with ventilation systems that created air movement and evaporation cooling. The chamber construction included specific depths calculated to access stable ground temperatures while maintaining air quality and preventing moisture accumulation. The psychological aspects of prehistoric sleep reveal fascinating insights into early human mental adaptation and stress management. Sleeping in completely exposed environments with constant predator threats required remarkable psychological resilience that modern humans struggle to comprehend. Archaeological evidence suggests our ancestors developed specific mental techniques and social behaviors that enabled restful sleep despite extreme environmental pressures. Artifact patterns at sleeping sites indicate early humans engaged in calming activities immediately before rest periods. Tool arrangements suggest evening routines involving repetitive tasks like hiding, tool SKR maintenance, and material preparation that served psychological functions beyond their practical purposes. These activities created mental transitions from daytime vigilance to nighttime rest, helping individuals shift from high-alert survival vulnerability mode to the required for deep sleep. Group sleeping arrangements also provided crucial psychological benefits beyond physical security. The presence of trusted companions reduced individual anxiety about nighttime threats, while shared body warmth created comfort associations that promoted relaxation. Evidence suggests early humans developed specific social protocols for nighttime interaction, including quiet communication systems that maintained group cohesion without alerting predators to their location. The transition between sleep and wakefulness required its own specialized techniques. Early humans couldn't afford the gradual awakening process that modern people take for granted, but needed systems that enabled instant alertness when threats emerged. Archaeological evidence shows they developed sleeping positions and arrangements that allowed rapid movement from rest to action without disorienting confusion or coordination delays. Sleep scheduling among early human groups reveals remarkable sophistication in managing rest cycles across multiple individuals with different needs and responsibilities. Evidence suggests our ancestors understood that different people required different amounts of sleep and developed flexible systems that accommodated individual variations while maintaining group security and efficiency. Every night when you sink into your memory foam mattress and adjust your climate-controlled bedroom temperature, remember that your ancestors conquered the darkness using nothing but ingenuity, cooperation, and an understanding of nature that took hundreds of thousands of years to perfect. They didn't just survive without caves or beds, they thrived, spreading across continents and laying the foundation for every technological achievement that followed. The next time you struggle to fall asleep despite every modern comfort, consider that perhaps we've forgotten something essential about rest that our ancestors knew instinctively. True mastery of sleep wasn't about comfort, it was about adaptation, community, and the remarkable human ability to transform any environment into home.